getting some technical information that it's still saying waiting, but on my thing here it says you're live. So maybe
Mhm.
there's just like a little delay. Just hold on 1 second. I'm just making sure that this is on, or do I just need to hit refresh? Because
It
it
says
it
waiting
does
here as
say
well.
live on my end,
Mm.
Oh,
but that's okay. Like I said, we got yeah, I can see myself live, so I'm not sure then. Maybe there was something else. But
Yeah, I could
on
try refreshing and see what
yeah,
happens.
yeah, I'm checking on YouTube and we're live. Maybe the beginning bit was cut and it was waiting for me to hit that, but it's all
Cool.
good. So what do I think about the game? So actually, if we are just rejoining the feed, firstly, apologies. Welcome to the Liverpool Toronto show. We've already had a bit of comment from Dan and Jake about the game. I mean, to summarize it in a couple of minutes, lots of excitement. Bit of shade about the 115 charges and the sway that Haaland wasn't was allowed
fake.
to not play for Norway. I have my own theories about that. I think that Haaland is obviously one of the greatest strikers in the world, on form, the best number 9 in the world, and simultaneously, I think he's an international flop until he proves me otherwise. Don't give a shit who disagrees. I know a lot of people fanboy about him, but we, the three of us, are all from the vintage where there was some amazing teams that were led by one player at international level. And also, Robert Lewandowski's not had a stacked team around him, and
Ever.
he led Poland teams to tournament after tournament. And also Gareth Bale. Nobody can convince me ever that that Welsh team was tournament ready or deep tournament run in
No.
2016 ready
No.
without their talisman.
No.
So if Erling Haaland is all that, other than the tap-ins, which he's amazing at for Man City, then somewhere, hopefully, starting with World Cup 2026, he may want to show up for
Tapping
Norway.
merchant.
Yeah. But other than that, I think he's amazing. I would love for anybody in our community as well to who still has a little bit of disrespect for our number 9 to just look at what he is doing at international level, because it's pretty special. The CONMEBOL qualifiers are not anything to be laughed at. I think it's very competitive, it's very hostile, and Darwizzy's doing pretty well out there as well. So back onto Saturday, I think I'm like you two. I'm very excited. I'm a tad nervous, but I've been saying this for 2 to 3 weeks. Certainly after the Brentford game, I said I will take a draw all day, every day. 13 points. 13 games, 1 point going into December. I am taking that with two hands. And, the context of potentially us having a win on our hands is very exciting, gives me all the feels, gets me all excited. But truth be told, give me a 0-0. I'm settling right now and basically going, because the funny thing is, if we are able to come out of there without a defeat, it actually means, I'm going early with this, it actually means that if we win all our games in hand, including all our games, including the Anfield game, um, titles in our hands as well as theirs. So, and it's in their hands too, because they can always come to Anfield and beat us as well. So that's not me being facetious and saying that we're going to win the league at all. Never once said that. It's November the 23rd. I've not yet once said we're going to win the league, but I have said we can win the league. And I think if we avoid a draw on Saturday, then we've got something really exciting on the horizons. Any thoughts on
We
all the
should be
shit I
number one
just wrote?
anyways because the pigeon game, right? That's all I'm saying. We should be
Yeah,
number one
there's.
because the
I mean,
pigeons.
there's that. But what do you
Pigeons.
guys think about the like how the return of the South American players is going to impact, or just the international break players is going to impact the match, like from both aspects, right? I mean, so like we know our team, right? Like our attack has been on fire, like across the board, everyone's scoring, everyone's assisting. But what do you think though with respect to City and like what they've done and some
I
of the
mean, I'm gonna
international
say that
teams?
are they used to the travel? Are they used to the movement? I don't know where the teams. I don't remember what altitudes and teams where they played.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it is however you cut it, it's 12 hours, 10, 12 hours journey at least
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, and it's gonna take a toll on anyone. Hopefully, they're in their own space, they're in their own jet or their own whatever else to make it easy for them, and they can just get some rest. But it does have an impact on your body. Like even McAllister, when he was out and he came back the last time, he was pretty lethargic from that standpoint and looked a little bit out of it from when he was in Bolivia, I think, or anyways, wherever they played before.
Yeah, I believe
But
it. Yeah.
they have Alvarez is on that side of the fence, right? And anybody else? Diaz? No, he's Puerto. Alvarez is the only one that's in that would go.
Well, Edison would usually go, but they
Edison.
pulled him this time.
Yeah.
Right.
That's it, I think. I don't think that there's any other South Americans. If there is,
Oh, yeah, I guess. Trying to think about.
I thought they had
Silva,
one more, but then
Diaz,
no, Rodri's
Portugal,
not. Silva's not.
yeah.
Foden's not. Like
no.
I guess
Walker,
another-
Guardiola, Stones. No, I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
What about? But then, what about injuries? Then I guess like.
But I think they faked everything, though, right?
The big one. Well, no, I know that,
Well,
but like,
yeah.
Like, what about the Stones injury? Like, did he even train today? I'm not sure. I didn't hear that he trained. I think most of the others did, like Holland and Cole. But I don't know. Like Stones to me has been really, really impressive. If you look at how he's played and how City's relied on him.
Yeah, he's been a stalwart for what I thought he was before he came to what he's just been slotted in to do. And he just plays within his box. Like he's a solid player, plays within his box. From a team-to-team perspective, as just a fan, I just would love to have a full-strength City and a full-strength Liverpool to hit, end-to-end. But again, it's going to be. I think it's going to be a cracker. I hope it doesn't go with some just like shitty mistakes or something like that, like good play. Yeah, or some nonsense like that. Hopefully no one kicks the goalie in the face or something happens. Who knows? From those
what? That pension for seeing red, like for us this season, like that's in the back of my mind as well, which is like, for some reason our luck has been like that, where who knows, like something freak, like an innocuous challenge or something like that. A couple of quick yellows,
which
like
happens, right? Because you get so hyped up, right? You're in the moment. So
exactly. The one last, or I don't know if there's more thoughts on this, but I think like the confidence that I have as a Liverpool fan going into this match is our resilience this year and season. And yes, it's City, and yes, it's away, but it's like, okay, say that your front three are Nunez, Diaz, Salah. Let's just say that, or let's not even say Diaz. Let's just say Jota, because a lot of the experts are saying, or our pundits are saying Jota, Nunez, and Salah. Okay, and say that they just don't do anything. So Salah's going to play the entire match. Nunez most likely gets subbed off, maybe, and Jota as well, right? So like maybe 60, 70 minutes.
60, 70.
So then you have Cody, right? So then you have Cody coming in, and or Diaz.
Yes.
And I feel like if we're chasing the game at like 60th, 70th minute, 75th minute, we played like a man down, 2 men down, and come back with the resilience there. So there's that in the back of my mind of the confidence. And the thing is, even like this whole stat for this whole week and lead up to this match has been, oh, we haven't won at the Etihad in 8 years. Oh, it's 2015, blah, blah, blah. But it's not like we've actually played terrible all the time over there. Like we've had some back and forth. Like remember 2 years ago, it was like what, 2-2 whatever, or 1-1. I think it was 2-2, right? Like where we drew them. And it's just like, I don't know. I think we actually have the confidence to get a result. And I don't know. I'm just optimistic. I think we can snatch one there. I don't know what it is, but I think we can snatch one there.
I would definitely echo your confidence. Like and again, this isn't me saying we will win, and this is not me saying I expect to win, but I am more confident than in recent years. I think this is a classic case of it's very difficult to predict this game, because I think it really depends on how certain things bounce in your favor or what you do with certain chances, right? So, if Liverpool score a goal early, for example, it can immediately change the game. Or if Man City score a goal early, there's all these like intricacies about a football match that we have to now go and play the game. To Jake's point about the full strength team, I'm pretty sure Kevin De Bruyne is completely out, so
Oh
they
yes,
won't have
I
their
forgot about that.
full strength team.
Yeah.
And from what I read earlier, Jonathan Stones, who is now probably their leader in defense, is very doubtful as well.
Yeah, I don't think
So
he's playing
if
that match.
he's not trained, then sure. So okay, so immediately that's a bit of a plus for us on their side. In terms of sometimes people, the perceived weaknesses we have, so whoever plays for us at number 6, they shouldn't be as stretched as they normally are, because I'm guessing we're going to be a little bit more defensive than we normally are. And I actually think that we're lethal on the counter anyway. So I would love to see any of those, including Gvardiol, including Diaz, even Kyle Walker. I would love to see them keep pace with Darwin. Like, all the best, if you're in a foot race, if we're getting away. Diaz or Jota, no slouches. We know what Mo's like as well. So really, it has to be like discipline, play the game, proper shape, support the number 6, maybe play 2 number 6s, as in Curtis and McAllister, and let Sobo roam a little bit just while we're getting a foothold in the game. I think it's about us playing smart. But I don't know if I've ever been like I don't know if I've ever been more confident that we can do something. And I even thinking, and I'm even talking like 18, 19, 19, 20. Well, 1920 was a bust anyway, because we had already won the league and it was behind closed doors. So I knew we were going to lose that game. 18-19, which is the off the line one. I was like kind of vomity, to be honest. I remember I was like, oh, I don't want this. And plus we were in the lead at the time. We had a couple of points lead. So we had a lot to lose.
Yeah.
And the Anfield game had been. The Anfield game had been right at the start of the season. So at that point, that was a completely different proposition. This one, I think that Man City aren't great in defense anyway. They're very good, don't get me wrong, but they're not as good as they've been in recent years, and we're somewhat attacking better than we have potentially in the last cup, certainly last year.
And the other thing to consider too is that much has been made about Liverpool's new midfield, and I would love your thoughts on who that midfield should be starting and all that. But it's Klopp 2.0 or Liverpool 2.0. But City have done something of the same thing. Kovacic, Gvardiol, some of these players, Gundogan, who's gone. So they're also adjusting too to a newer team, and guys like Jack Grealish, for example, is now on the bench. Doku's come in, So there's all these sort of changes that they're also adapting to, which I think goes under the radar sometimes because they're just so consistent and they have the depth and everything else. And Pep's a tactician and all that, but it's not like they're settled, if you know what I'm saying. And I feel like that I think breeds your confidence, or at least that thought of maybe we can get at them, because other teams have. Arsenal, when they played that double pivot, they kept it compact in the middle and forced them to use sort of different paths, and that's how they clogged that middle up. And I think that's what Klopp's probably going to do. Maybe that's a good segue to say what do you think our midfield is going to be for the match?
I want to see what Szoboszlai is going to do against this caliber of competition. I'm not saying anything about Europa. Europa is Europa. There's been some good moments of that tournament so far, but now you're getting into the higher echelon of the Prem. Rodri's first class. I don't know who's going to play beside him or in front of him, but it's going to be interesting to see moving the ball, making the right decisions between him and McAllister. I don't, again, who's going to play the double pivot or the pivot. And that's going to be very interesting to see what he does. And of course, this is a different kind of game for him. I'm not saying he didn't have any big games back before he came to us, but now he's going to be in City. It's the biggest game in England for that day, if not for the, looking forward to it. He's going to feel the pressure to a certain degree. I mean, don't get me wrong. He was flying this week with his national team. He was just killing it, which is great.
Who's that?
Szoboszlai.
Sobo.
Oh, Sobo. Yeah, sorry, I thought you were talking about Maka, but okay.
Yeah, and so I mean, on that point, a lot of our folks that went away did phenomenal, and knock on wood, they didn't get hurt, which is great. But I'm really, I'm not really care about the. I mean, Simikas, that's going to be a very interesting one. That's not a, that's a downgrade, let's say, from Robbo, and that would be my weak point from our side. But I'm just really eager to see the midfield against these folks, right? Because if we can apply a bit of structure and steel in the midfield, that's going to change the whole tactics of everything.
I think Maka in this match will thrive, and I'm gonna go against like the prevailing wisdom with the pundits and everything around this, because think about like how this match usually pans out. City for the most part dominate possession, and we're the ones who like to hit the long ball or maybe use the wings, or sort of that quick outlet to get them on the sort of on the counter or whatever. And yes, we have some build up play and whatever. When we were in our pomp, you remember that classic match where we lost 2-1 and we had that amazing goal for like 45 different passes or whatever it was. That match was as even as I thought we've ever been against this Pep City side, when it was like keep possession, build up play, proper balls, proper runs, all that kind of stuff. This match with Maka not being the guy who's like in between Virgil and let's say Matip or Konate, and like being like 70% possession, he's going to be probably sitting in front of that D, and his outlets and his like through play, along with obviously Solo and whoever else, is actually I think going to make a big difference. So I'm really banking. Maybe this is the ever optimist here. All that sunshine in the Bahamas really paying off right now. But I honestly feel it's going to be a big match for him. So anyway, I'll leave it there. Sorry, so
can I just say one thing? So I was on the YouTube chat. We had a question. And it was not a question, sorry. It was a comment from Salil. And it was, my biggest worry is Simikas at left back can't allow City to score early. And with that in mind, this is one of the genius things about moving to this platform. Look who it is.
Whoa. Whoa. Man just shows up. I love it.
Missed you guys. About time. Fuck the international break.
That's it, man. Welcome.
I can't wait for Saturday. I can't wait to see you all and watch the game together.
Sure, same brother.
Absolutely,
same,
man.
So
same
Salil,
vibes.
Talk to us about left back. Talk to us about Simi. Your thoughts, your solutions, your concerns. Floor is yours.
Firstly, thank you for having me, Aizaz, and everyone. My biggest concern is Simikas, because we know that Robertson is not available, right? Simikas, as good as he is going up, moving forward, he's at times suspect covering back defensively. He's not the worst option, of course, but he's not the best either. My biggest worry is he could get bullied. Maybe if Bernardo starts on that flank, I still feel he'll be okay. But if he's up against somebody like Doku, if he shifts onto the right, because I have a feeling Grealish starts this game uh, instead of Doku, because given that Grealish is more of a workhorse as compared to Doku is, I have a feeling Grealish starts on the right, on the left, and trying to left to cover up for him. And with regards to Shimikas, we have no option. So we'll have, as you rightly said, Isas, we'll have to be defensively astute. Everyone in our midfield will have to put in a defensive shift. It's not going to be Shimikas alone who can handle maybe a Bernardo or whoever starts on that flank, right?
But
yeah.
But
oh, here we go.
Azaz's favorite player, Mr. Joe Gomez, is ready to go, my friend. He's ready to step right in there as a left back, right back cover. What do you think about that?
Defensively, Joe Gomez has been incredible on the wing back positions this year. The only problem is going up front. We saw that in the Luton game, right? He didn't really put a foot wrong in that game. The only problem was it halts the way we play when we have runners on the left flank, right? We play the inverted wing back positions.
Yeah.
Trent wasn't an issue. It was more down to having Joe Gomez playing that role. Mm-hmm. He's more effective on the right. We have seen Joe Gomez can play that Trent role where he can push forward, and he's defensively very good on the wing back position. And I'm really happy for Joe Gomez, because the amount of abuse that he was receiving in the last 2 or 3 years, nothing makes me happier when a player from our club proves his critics wrong. Gomez has done that. Curtis Jones has, and obviously our beloved Darwin Nunez has done that as well. So, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, pointing up to the sky, Darwin, baby.
Yeah. So coming back to Gomez, right? Defensively, I think he'll do a very good job. I think in a three, Joe Gomez would really do well if we shift 2 or 3 at the back sometime in the game, but we know that Klopp won't do it. So it has to be Simicas and maybe somebody like a Soboslai or maybe McAllister to do the double pivot, right? To mark whoever is playing on that. I have a feeling it could be Bernardo on that flank or Foden for all you know. So it's going to be interesting to see. I would rather want Simicas to be defensively astute than going forward because we have ball carriers in the team. We have McAllister, we have Gravenbush to do it. Soboslai obviously will do it. And if Luis Diaz starts, I think it could help Simicas big time because he takes up very interesting positions defensively as well. He picks up, if you notice, he tugs the line. Me and Isaac were having this conversation a few days back. Diaz loves to tug the line towards the wing, and he does drop in and collect the ball from deeper positions. So that could really help Simicas if he starts. So
Yeah.
one of the reasons why I would rather want Diaz to start over Jota, just for that reason, because I think it gives us a lot more options tactically, as well as it makes Pep overthink, right? What could be the next move? And when Pep overthinks, he messes up. So yeah, I think I've summed up everything, the concerns and the solutions overall.
You think that
So
That's good analysis. Yeah.
you think that Trent gets a little roving, or he's got to stay his spot? He's got to stay. He doesn't get to rove around a little bit, or he's going to stay in the.
I don't
Is
think
that
he's gonna
question
be
for me
up front.
or who?
All of us, all of us.
No, I just don't think he's going to be like this isn't Luton where we're going to be in their half. You know what I mean? Like this is like us really being probably pressed back a bit, and so Trent from that position can hit that long ball diagonally wherever Virgil can. That's what I'm hoping for. A little bit of like a Trent special. You know what I mean? Like long ball or outlet ball or whatever. Him and Maka linking up or Zobo linking up. Like that's like.
Yeah, I think just to touch on a few other points that Salil made as well. I think that left back, Joe Gomez playing left back. For me, Joe Gomez playing left back is the only way he gets into the team on Saturday, because right back has to be Trent, because he is still our most creative option. And even though he has redeemed himself and is playing well, I still have him as the third option next to Virgil. Plus, he's coming back from injury himself. If Kanate and Gomez were injured for the last game, right? So I think we have to just be careful with that as well, right? Like, as in, depends how he's trained and how the international break has gone. But I think if we are 100, we know Virgil's playing at the left-sided centre-back. Right-sided centre-back could be either of them. They've both got their different options, why he goes for Matip, why he goes for Kanate. Right-back has to be Trent. He's a generational talent. So, like, really, the left-back is like, are we keeping it tight, or are we somewhat looking for a bit of creativity from that side? And I'm okay with either, because Jurgen knows best. I think the concept of us, the big word that I want us to show on Saturday is, as well as hardworking and, like the gravitas and everything, I also want us to show a bit of humility in the game as well. Like, I don't want us to lose because, like, Trent had to move into defensive mid or like something weird like that, I don't want us to lose for that reason. I think that in a season, this is the only game where we have to be the underdog. Maybe the Emirates, maybe, but I think we're better than Arsenal. But other than that, like, this is the one game where we just have to do that, like, humble thing. Like, you remember the 2005 Champions League run. Like, we didn't try to play against Juventus away. Like, we knew. Like, we knew our role. Do you get what I mean? Like, we didn't try to play Chelsea away.
But that's Benitez too, right?
Definitely.
Like,
definitely. But
Jurgen's
very astute.
gravy.
He's definitely, but he's very, very smart man as well. Like, I just think that, like, for me, really, the way he picks the left back is kind of his signal of intent in the game. I would personally start Gomez. I've just talked myself into Gomez because I'm happy keeping it tight. Like, let's win the game at 50-60. I still think if Gomez plays, he's probably at the scene of the crime. If there's a crime, like that's not gonna.
There it is. True colors.
But that's not gonna change.
No, it's true though. It's happened. That's the point.
No, it's there. But when does it happen? Last season.
Yeah, I know, but you know how we are.
Oh, okay, maybe earlier in the
right.
Yeah.
This is different. I just hope he trains well. Well, right?
Yeah.
Trains well this week.
Yeah.
Speaking of training well, we have some lads back. What about Gravy? Do you think our Dutch sensation is going to get a run? Maybe obviously he's going to be starting on the bench, I think. Yeah. But do you think he's going to get a run in this game, or is it sort of too much for that stage? What do you think? It's probably a new substitute. Is that what you're thinking, Gravy boy?
I mean, don't get me wrong. We have options, right? We have options. That's the key thing, though, right? Like having okay. From a Klopp perspective, he's not the finished article, which I love to hear that. He's got the potential, he's got the skills, he's a big boy, he's technically gifted. He's just got to get some fitness in, and he's got to get some confidence, right? And keep the confidence going. But to everyone's point is that we have great options that we didn't have before, right? There was we were not scraping the bucket, but we were scraping the bucket before. If one guy, two guys get hurt, we're fucked from that standpoint, but not anymore.
Who's the mid then?
Who I would like
starting midfield?
Yes. The thing is that I'm scared shitless of the pivot part. Okay, right? I'm absolutely scared shitless about the pivot part. I would like. No, go Zazu. Go ahead.
McAllister, Szoboszlai, and Curtis.
Curtis. Wow. Yeah, okay. No. That's fair. No, that's what a lot of people think.
As long as Curtis doesn't fucking
Curtis hasn't played.
He likes to do a little bit of moves and whatever else, but the pivot part, he's got to get the ball and give it the.
He's played well. He's played really well with his work rate. It's been really, really good. In press and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So the press has to be on point as well, right? We can't be just waiting for that long ball. It's also try to win the ball upfield and that kind of thing. But the thing is, the pitch is so big at the Etihad. It feels
definitely. But we don't have to look back to 2015. We did beat them in the Champions League in 2018 as well. And I think that there's a lot that we can take from there. So bear in mind that Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, who was flying at the time, but he started as well. So having the local lads in, Curtis ahead of Gravenberch, because McAllister at this point is assimilated into the league anyway. So really, it would be Szoboszlai or Gravenberch, and it's Sobo, he's the starter. Yeah. Curtis has to play because it's the local lad knowing how big this game is. And that's the game I want us to benchmark, because they had to attack us in that game, so we had to be under the cosh. And then, we got that amazing Mo goal from the Mane breakaway. And then Firmino scored on the counter as well. We can fully benchmark that game. They're not going to be that aggressive against us because they don't have to claw back a win. But that game, they had us penned completely back.
Oh, we were
on the rope. Yeah. Cool. I'm all right with it, man. A bit of shithousery, a little bit of playing the ref, get Virgil in the referee's face.
The man craft,
do it, right? Man. It's one game. And when all else fails, we got Alisson in there. Do you get what I mean?
Thank God, those two. He needs to have a game. Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. So, I don't know if there's ever going to be a moment to play a strong City team and be favorites or confident. I think I'm as confident as we could possibly be. And that's not with me having any expectations to win. Salil know this. You two know this. I've been saying for 2 weeks, I'll take a draw. I'm taking a draw right now. So it's not me saying we're going to win, but we can win. And it all comes down to how effective are you? How clinical are you? How disciplined are you? How humble are you? How hungry are you? If we can answer all those challenges, of course we can beat them. There's we can. But can and will are two.
You're talking about Curtis right now, and ultimately in my head right now, it came from that fucking shit red card that he got. And it's in my it just came back, and I'm oh, as long as it's not some bullshit play like that.
Well, the one thing I would say,
sorry, Dan, but we can't make the ref make those decisions.
No, I know, but you know that, and it's the build up too, right? Social media is talking about this guy. They're talking about what his brother's got, like season tickets to fucking City. Or I know, you know how it is, right?
It's all weak, man. It's all weak. Like it's all weakness. Like us letting some of these things get into our brain, even as fans, let alone as players. Forget it, man. Like the one that really, those things like have started to really wind me up, because we're not going to change them. So don't make the referee make certain decisions. Curtis didn't have to make that tackle. Jota was on a yellow card. Like the first yellow card against Tottenham's terrible. That's not a yellow card. He is on a yellow card the second time he makes that tackle. Do you get what I mean? So we have to play with our minds as well.
Yes.
We have to play the game. The brother being a season ticket holder and all that stuff, like I'm over it. Like I just feel like bigger like Napoli had way more like hindrances than that last season. You know, they just ran away with the league. Like I'm over the weakness at this point. Like I think we have to take all of this stuff into our hands. You know, like there's chances against Tottenham. Okay, cool. The offside is disgusting, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about discipline. Like don't make the referee make those decisions. Don't do it.
But you know what though, if we speak about our away performances, right? Like that's where you can see where we've sort of dropped off a little bit. But if you look at the away performances, so if you look at the away performances for the big teams, Chelsea, Spurs, Newcastle, let's just say for now, right? And yes, now it's City away. But if you look at those three, I would argue that we had started the match with some of our best minutes of play. So I would say like 15, 20 minutes at Chelsea, we were right up on them. Like it was a new team, new lineup, everything. And then we started to dip where we didn't know where, the midfield was trying to figure itself out, all that kind of stuff. Resilience was shown at Newcastle. We couldn't play that full sort of away performance because we were down to 2 men or whatever. Or sorry, we were down 2 men. And the same thing with Spurs, right? Spurs is just I would love to see this team put in a proper 90-minute away performance. Like that, I think is the biggest thing that we haven't seen from a club team like since 2022. I would say. Right, like a classic away performance, right? So that's what I'm really, really looking for. And if we lose, okay, we lose with that. Or if we draw, or if we win, like that's what we want, right? And it's sort of that performance.
I would actually like to bring in the Newcastle game into this consideration. I think by far that is the best game we've managed, considering the circumstances that we were in. Right, we lost Virgil early. We were down to 10 men. We were outplayed from the word go, right? Even before Van Dijk got sent off, Trent making that error leading to Gordon's goal, and so on and so on and so on. We dug deep. The substitutions were spot on. It was a total smash and grab. I would love to do that against City, to be very honest, because we know City is going to dominate possession. We're going to have like 60% of the ball. They're going to create a lot of chances. We know defensively we're not yet there. We know Van Dijk is getting to his best, but we are playing City away, and considering Haaland, Alvarez, Doku, Grealish, Rodri as well, right? They all have goals in them. So I know the job is on us, the onus is on us, but I think if we can take those traits from the game at Newcastle away, I still feel, because by far defensively it is more difficult to beat Newcastle away than City away. I know we haven't won there, but considering this City's defense versus the Newcastle defense, I would still say it's more difficult to beat Newcastle with this defense. At least going on form. I know City are incredible; they always have been, but this City defense, as Isaac mentioned, has cracks in them. And I made this point in the chat as well. If Guardiola starts at LCB and say Anake starts at left back, our front three could potentially have a meal on the table out there. Is what I'm guessing. Of course, it's only guessing right now, but if that happens, I feel a front three could thrive if that's the option they're going for.
Did you see that? Sorry, did you say that they're going to have a meal?
Yes.
Yeah. That meal should be from the Scouts foodie. You know what I mean? Like just a nice, proper Scouts foodie meal. That'd be something.
Anyway. So that's a great segue, because that was a little bit of product placement there about the Scouts foodie. So I'm just gonna bring
Ooh,
this.
Boom.
What
So
is that
available
you're showing
from this Saturday? We've got the new
Bonfire.
LFC
Wow.
Toronto varsity shirt
Whoa.
available from Elephant and Castle. Very limited stock available.
Exclusive.
So if you're coming down on Saturday, make sure you've got some. I mean, we accept email transfer as well, but cash is king, baby. Cash is king. Just looking at the time, Mr. Prez, you got to shout out this thing going across the ticker on the bottom right now.
Yeah, so we've got our Chrimbo happening. I think we have out of the 110, 20 people that are allowed capacity. I think we're at just shy of 90, I think. So we've
Something
got about
like
20
that, yeah.
tickets left to go, something along those lines. So please do the right thing. Find your way to Elephant Castle. We've got just musical guests. We've got product. We've got swag. We've got stuff. Camaraderie with your LFC family. Food. There's probably going to be like 17,000 sausage rolls. Who knows what it's going to be like this year? But it's just a really good vibe. Everyone's welcome from that standpoint. Tickets are going fast, so please do come. It's been great for the last few years, and it's at our home Elephant Castle, so please do join us.
On that, once the tickets are gone, they're literally gone. Like there's nothing we can do. Like I know people love to get all in our WhatsApps and our DMs and stuff, trying to get can you do this and can you do that?
Yes.
Seriously,
can you save
once
me a
the
seat?
tickets, yeah,
The DM we never wanted, we got.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Can I do the eye emoji? Like
yeah. So there's that. The other thing is, remember that every Chrimbo, every guest gets a prize or a present. And those presents are already in. And
Fire.
they're looking kind of fine too.
Very good.
Yeah. Very
You've
exciting
outdone
time.
yourself. You've outdone yourself, Zazu. Outdone yourself. Some great stuff.
Unbelievable
for every
stuff.
LFC fan.
Seriously.
Thank you. We're just getting all of our Liverpool Toronto community swagged out, right? Like we said a couple of years ago, we want to make this as big as we can be, and as well as the audits that we have to accept. Like I think that it's just like we have to have the best swag out there as well.
Where's my yellow card, red card? I don't know. Sorry.
Imitation is the what's the saying?
Sincerest form of flattery.
That's right. And if you look at some of the other social media, and this is just shout outs to our wonderful OLC network around the world, but a lot of the folks have taken some of our ideas, put it like that, and refactored them, and so that just goes to show you what kind of design and branding expertise we have in house, and it's mainly that guy right there with the AI ZAZ. So appreciate you.
Thank you, folks.
Oh, and one note too. Just I don't know if you all saw on our social media, we had a lot of folks to the Brentford game, and we had a couple of our friends and family just partake in the Carlsberg experience. If you look at our social medias, we've got one of our great folks, Sultan, who's literally hugging Klopp, and just it is and he gave the man of the match. He got Simi was there. He gave the man of the match to Jota, and he had cracking jokes with Klopp, and from an experience that and he met Ian Rush. He met like this person. It's just so what I'm saying is that membership has its privileges. So please look at our community, see what we offer, join the family, and come out to a match.
And also, I hate you, Sultan. But yeah, I mean that's no, it's amazing. It's what an experience that is.
Okay, just looking at the time, we do need a score prediction. So feel free to sit on the fence, feel free to whatever, but you do have to
I'm saying 3-1.
put yourself out there.
3-1
Jake's
for us.
going first. 3-1 for us?
Yeah, 3-1 for us.
Dan?
2-0 clean sheet, Ali the hero. And
Salil?
BBD.
I usually don't do score predictions, but I will take a draw. I will take a draw.
Oh my. Pragmatist right there.
Zazu, your draw? What kind of draw are we looking for? Are we looking at?
I don't know if this is a prediction or what I'll do the deal at. I don't know if it's a prediction or a negotiation, but I'm going 0-0. I'll take
2-2.
0-0.
It's going to be a scoring draw.
Eh? Wow.
Yeah. I'm taking 0-0. Honestly, like I feel like I probably said it for the third time on this podcast. Like if we can get out of this game 1 point behind with the Anfield game, I don't know if it could be on more than that. And again, for the doubters, that's not me saying we're going to win the league. I've never once said that. However, it could be on. It could be. It could be. Let's see. Because that Christmas period's a bitch as well.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest. If there is ever a good time to beat City at the Etihad, now is the time. Now, because they don't have De Bruyne. They don't have De Bruyne. Their defense is not as astute as it used to be. Edison has started making mistakes. Guardiola is still settling in. Kovacic, as good as a player he is still settling in. Doku as well. I think, and with our front three bang on form, with our new midfield, of course we have issues in our team as well. Somehow, if we can get 3 points away at the Etihad now,
but
because remember, Salah's not going to be there for us, for the AFCONs. We need to consider that as well, right?
But Salil, that's not even going to matter. Is like this 1 point away is not going to matter because those 115 charges, like if you look at Everton now, the blue,
they're going to get dropped to the cornflower
deductions. You know what I mean? They're going to be relegated, so it's not going to matter, man. At the end of the day. So anyway.
But the fact that they then have to go and play Tottenham, which again is a wounded animal at now, but then they go and play Villa away as well. So back to Salil's point of like, now is a really good moment to play them. Like, Villa's home form is incredible. So not only do they then, I don't know, I just feel like it's play each game like it comes, and this one is like take the draw and move on. That's what I'm saying. I want to win. Of course. The prediction is more, like I said, it's a negotiation. I'm putting it out there. I'll take it. But I'm very, very excited. And what a privilege. What a game to come back to, right? Like we would have taken anything at 7:30, 9:30, whichever time. But like the fact that we get to watch this in like 30 hours or so, like it's so exciting.
The whole world's going to be watching this one, right?
Yeah.
This is the match that everybody watches. So, this the other one with the other scummy team. Yeah.
Right, folks. Well, I guess I'll wrap it up there. Thanks for jumping on, Salil. Appreciate that. Appreciate
Good to see
you,
brother.
Thank you so much.
See you all on Saturday, bright and early. Doors open when, Jake?
6:30 for premium members.
Yeah.
And that's when the bagels start. And then 7 o'clock for regular folks and regular members.
All the best. Bye.
All right.
You'll never walk alone.
Yeah.
Cool. I've ended the stream.